Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Veronica, aka Little Miss Skin Expert. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I created this green eyeshadow look using Drugstore brand products. So without further ado, let's get started. And let me know in the comments below if you guys have at all used any of these products, and if you guys want to see other Drugstore brand tutorials in the future, or if you picked any of them up. I want to know. Alright, so without further ado guys, let's get started. Good morning guys, happy Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday for those of us having tacos. Whatever. Anyways, today I am going to be doing a tutorial using the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. I've not touched this. I'm actually just trying to peel it open right as we speak. So I also accidentally bought a second one, so I'm going to actually give this away. There's going to be also probably another thing that I'm going to give away to go with this. It's nothing big, it's just saying, thanks for following me and supporting me and watching my tutorials. I always appreciate that. Oh, and just noticing the packaging here, there are two mattes right here, and then the rest of these are all shimmer shades, but we're going to be focusing mainly on the greens and maybe a couple of the golds, just because we want to do another St. Patrick's Day look using Drugstore brand products only. There are no names on the backs of these to let you know like what color is what, so I'm just going to have to point to show you which one is which that I use today. So I went ahead and I just started prepping my skin. I toned my skin first, and then I went in with the 2% BHA liquid exfoliating product by Paula's Choice. What I like about this is it's going to help control oil. It's going to also help with any blackhead issues if I have any inflammation in my skin, as well as any acne. So far so good. I'm doing good on that. This is a newbie for me. This is the Paula's Choice Antioxidant Pore Purifier. It comes in a little cute little dropper like that. I probably use about maybe 2 to 3 drops, and then I smear it all in the areas that I tend to have the most issues in. This does have salicylic acid, but the main thing I like about this is it helps neutralize any free radicals in the air that can cause issues with the skin. So what happens with free radicals and what it can do to the skin is you start to lose your luster and your glow. Sometimes people's skin look a little bit more ruddy. It can also dehydrate the skin. I know that it can also trigger aging processes to speed up. So it is good to have antioxidants built into a product, so that way you can avoid a lot of that. So I am testing this one out right now. I haven't been religiously using it as much until about maybe Saturday. So I kind of wanted to give it a chance to kind of see if I see any differences in my skin. Okay, so let's get started. So for primer today, I'm going to use the Maybelline Master Prime Primer. This is the hydrating one. I know they make other ones too, but this is the one that I picked up that, I don't know, that was kind of like a guess. During that time when I first discovered this one, my skin was super dry. So I ended up just continuing to use this one, and I really like it. So for those of you who do have drier skins and even like normal, slightly dry, slightly oily skins, you may want to consider that one. And then the other one I like is also the Milani Protect and Prime Primer, because that one has SPF in it. So I'm just kind of working that into the skin. And I actually wanted to do this first before I started the eyeshadow tutorial, just to allow everything to kind of sink into the skin. I'm going to, for concealer today and to also prime my eyelids, I'm going to use this is the Maybelline like Lumi like Touch concealer, something like that. All the writing got rubbed off from usage. And I'm using the shade Fair. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this to prime the lids first. And it's not like a thick concealer, but I like it because it doesn't cake. See how good that covered? brows today, I'm going to use the Total Temptation Brow Definer by Maybelline as well. This is a new one that I'm just playing with. It does have a diamond tip, so that's kind of nice. It's but the spoolie itself is like a joke. You can actually buy spoolies, disposable spoolies at like your drugstore or even at Sally's. So that's not like a big deal. I just would have liked to have seen them maybe use a longer one to help. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of use it the way I would normally use a brow pencil. The nice thing about diamond tips is like, because you can get precise in the front area and make like hair-like strokes, but it's like quickly does the job, which is what I like. I mean, I get why they use this small little spoolie, but I like the bigger spoolies personally. I think a lot of people tend to like it because with a bigger spoolie, you can easily manipulate the color to distribute through the brow like that. Because sometimes I get a little heavy-handed in the front when I shouldn't. I need to be a little bit heavier-handed in this area towards the tail. That's where you want most of your color. Like that. Not too shabby. First shade in the palette that I'm going to use is the transition shade on this side, and it's just a nice brown. And I'm going to coat the brush and just start sweeping away. I just want to make sure I got all the product off. I use a cloth or a paper towel to help clean my brushes in between shades, especially if I'm going to continue to use the same brush throughout the entire tutorial. Just having something to wipe the color off is important so you don't alter the look. So I'm just kind of just getting it in there. So as you could tell, it gives a really nice wash of color. These are really great. I am not an affiliate at all with Wet n Wild, but I am a supporter. I mean, they're affordable. They're cheap. I mean, I don't mean that in a mean way either. You know, you could say like, oh, so you're cheap. Next shade in the palette that I'm going to go in with is actually this dark green right here. What I like about this is it does have some gold flecks in the shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and just pack this onto the entire lid. Oh, look how pigmented that is. This is going to be intense. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm not too worried. So what I was trying to do was kind of make this a little bit of a darker green. I didn't want it so light because it kind of washes me out a little bit. So what I did was I added this shade first all over the lid, and then I added this using my finger on top. I am probably going to go in and do a halo eye. I just needed this green shade to really be more pigmented and deeper than what it was. So basically you're just using the dark green shade, which almost looks black on me, as like a base for the green. I thought this was going to be more of a like kind of like this, but this is darker. And I'm keeping it kind of low below the crease, and then I'll fix everything up in a minute. But this is what I did to that side, and I'm doing it now to this side so you guys can see better. And then just taking my finger into the palette. See how that does that? That's a nice green. Yeah. So far, so good. Just going to intensify it a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and spray the brush with some Fix Plus generously, as you saw, and then I'm going to go ahead and just dip into that light green shade again and coat the brush. And this is just going to help make this a little bit more metallic and a little bit pop out a little bit even more. So 3 steps. Add the dark shade first to deepen out the green, then add the green to the top to kind of just lay down the base, and then add this on top. So it's really like more vibrant. Now, of course, I want to go back in with that transition shade that I first started with, and just to help blend this. So there's no harsh lines in the eye area. And then we're going to actually smoke out the outer corner and inner corner. I mean, I could have totally used concealer to do all this, but this is just another technique. And yeah, now just building, taking that green, dark green shade again, and just adding it to the outer V and inner V. So you are doing a halo eye. And then that keeps this very, very vibrant and bright. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the foundation process. I'm going to first add the Flower Beauty. This is the liquid Illuminizer in the shade Champagne Shimmer before I put the foundation on. And I'm just adding it to those, just right here in this area, because I want this area to be glowy. And I'm just kind of just putting it into the skin. I feel like my other fingers are dirty, so I don't want to put that along here. My pinky is clean. I'm going to go ahead and use the Fit Me Foundation, Matte Plus Poreless Foundation by Maybelline. I'm going to go ahead and dot my face. And use the Nancy Flawless Foundation brush. Use my code to save 10%. These brushes are affordable. They are synthetic. I mean, these things will last you forever. If it's a well-made brush, which I know this is, I believe this is a copper ferrule, and that really keeps the brushes held together, the bristles inside the handle, so that's important. I used to always get brushes and then the bristles would fall out and be all over my face. And my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, would see me and he'd see little hairs on my face and he'd be like, you have like hair all over your face. And I was like, oh, don't worry about it. It's just my makeup brush. So, glad that's no longer a problem. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and set everything down. I've already added the concealer and blended it in. The same concealer that I used for my eyelids is what I use to highlight in the areas here. You want to get the job done quick. You don't have a lot of time. A big fluffy brush is going to help with that. I know for me it gets the job done very nicely and fast. Like that. This serves me right for talking so much shit about the butter bronzer. No, it's a good bronzer. The only complaint I would say was the fragrance. It's highly fragranted. So, but the color I like how buttery their bronzer is. But damn, I didn't realize I broke it. I must have dropped it not knowing, and then now I'm starting to use it. God, my bad. So I'm just gonna kind of, now this is a warmer bronzer, so for those of you who don't like that, maybe skip this color. This is, I think, medium deep. I'm just kind of blending it in to the skin. Blend till you cannot blend, until your arm is killing you. This is another bronzer that I like. This is by Rimmel. This is the shade Sun Bronze. It's $5. And this was a bronzer I always use, especially during my college years. You know, college students don't have a lot of money, so I sure didn't. It was like Top Ramen, maybe go to the dollar menu, and oh man. Let's go ahead and just finish up the eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and use this dark green shade again, and I'm going to dip it into my smudger brush and just going to go ahead. And I kind of did go a little low because I am going to blend it out anyway. So I'm not too worried about it looking chunky right there. It's not. I'm going to do first the lightest green shade, which is a shimmer, to help blend this out a little bit. I do want a hue of that to be apparent. There's no mirror on this, so it makes it a little difficult. And then I'm going to go in with that transition shade. Blend, blend, blend. So I'm going to go ahead and use this shade right here, this gold shade, to highlight the inner corner of the eye, because I want to. Plus it'll help complement like the gold shades in the colors that I used and bring them out a little bit. I also added it to the brow bone, as you can tell here, just to tie everything together and to help clean up any mistakes I made in the brow. I'm going to go ahead and highlight my face using the Wet n Wild Megaglo highlighting powder in the shade Golden Flower Crown. I heard this one's good. This is a $5 highlighter, so let's try it out. I don't know if I can see it on my skin tone, maybe because it's a gold shade. Not bad for $5, Wet n Wild. So certain brushes, like this one for example, really pick up the highlighter pretty nicely. See that? And then I did do this area again using a damp beauty sponge to help, and then applied it here. And now along the nose. I'm going to go ahead and use the Milani Baked Powder Blush in the shade Luminoso. It's like a peachy pinky shade, so let's see how this goes. I'm kind of playing with drugstore brands right now. Something a little bit more affordable, because, you know, it adds up. I like it a lot. Just gives it a nice pinched, peachy, summery, well, springy, summery shade. I like it. I gotta put some mascara on. Almost done, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and line my waterline with the Exaggerate Waterproof Eye Definer by Rimmel, but instead of black, which I normally do, I'm gonna use brown. It gives it more of a softer look. We're going with brown today. Okay, I'm gonna try the CoverGirl Flourish by Lash Blast mascara. I've never used this, so wish me luck. I'm like kind of like interested in trying new formulas, you know, to see what's available. You know, because I always use the same things and it gets a little boring, and I don't want that. I want to be able to explore and see what else is out there and what's available. Well, so far so good. So it does lengthen the lashes, and one of the things I like is it helps comb through. So it's the brush that helps comb the product through the lashes, so you do get the opportunity to coat your lashes pretty nicely. Okay, so I've been dying to like try some new stuff. So I picked up the Almay lipstick. This is the Lip Vibes lipstick in the shade Be Strong. This is a cream lipstick, and now I know that this may not look like it's could go with this look, but really you can make it work, so I hope. I just wanted like a berry shade. The nice thing is that nudes go with everything, you know. These are so nice. Like it. Well, guys, that completes the look. I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!